Good morning, everyone, and welcome to day 4 of SICSS-Howard Mathematica home stretch. Can you believe that this is the 6th day that you've been with us and that we only have one more day of instruction after this? So we're about to jump into projects starting next week. So kudos to those of you who've been deeply in it. Kudos to those of you who've been sort of in it. Kudos to those of you who have been anxious. You have made it. Stay with it. We got this. All right. I want to remind you this morning to be who you are. You are enough. What you have to give and the questions you bring to the table are enough. Take care of your biological and technological and physiological and psychological and metaphysical needs as they come up. We are human. You should eat whenever you need to, eat on camera, turn your camera off if you need to, put us in your ear and take a walk if you need to. Everyone is a student here, no matter what your title. We are all junior professionals, and I love the fact that everybody is taking a learning posture. So often we, especially those of us who are a little bit older, jump into these spaces and feel the need to lead. Just because we are older, and or someone may feel the need to lead because they have expertise on something. But just know, everyone, you're allowed to take a learning posture, okay? Set your personal intention for today. Start thinking about what your personal intention is for the remainder of the Institute. Is there something specific you want to learn, a skill you want to begin to master, or do you want to just drink from the fire hose from which it's delivered and revisit again after the Institute? It's a collaboration on a project. That could be your thing, asking questions confidently, practicing R. I want to highlight that because if at the end of this, you spend all of next week in TA office hours, working on R and getting more comfortable, I think that's amazing. You could even give a presentation on how you worked on R for the 2 weeks and you've gotten better, more comfortable with it. That, I think, is an incredible outcome alongside joining a group project. Just throwing that out there. We're the only site that you're allowed to spend time in an individual endeavor the second week, or an individual project. So keep that in mind. Set your intention for today. It can change tomorrow. It can change midday today. It's yours and yours alone. Run your own race. So, if we don't come up with our own intentions, other people's intentions tend to become ours. So do that. I just want to remind everyone that this is an inclusive and diverse and representative and all of the this is a diverse space, but it takes intention for us to maintain that. So today, happy Thursday to everyone. Since it's Pride Month, you're going to notice that our rooms today are historical and contemporary Black LGBTQIA artists, scholars, and activists. We'll go from Stonewall and Miss Marsha P. Johnson to Rashad Robinson in Color of Change. With that in mind, it's only right that we start our day with a quote from one of our beacons, Roxane Gay. There is no magic to it. I just wrote constantly and kept trying to get better and nurtured delusions. It's totally normal. So I encourage you to nurture your delusions today. I also encourage you, make sure that I encourage you to nurture delusions of grandeur while learning from each other and also our TAs and also our TF. And to learn, invest in things you have not mastered yet, okay? Y'all know I also geek out on Marvel. Maybe you don't know that. So if Roxanne's quote doesn't speak to you this morning, please channel Loki, the god of mischief. Loki believed he is, and I quote, burdened with glorious purpose. So I encourage you all to feel the weight of the burden in a positive way of your glorious purpose today, okay? We're going to drop our question in the chat box. Maxine's going to handle that for us. Maxine is our alumni legacy TA today. Maxine, she does not like Max. Maxine, what's your favorite hobby? Something like you like to do in your free time. Also, always welcome humble brags. So let's see, a humble brag for me this morning to have everyone get a sense of what I'm looking for. I got up before my alarm this morning. My alarm went off and I was like, da, 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 happy jumping out of bed. I didn't get full professor today, don't have tenure, didn't publish an article this morning, but I got out of bed early before my alarm. So I'm proud of myself. So humble brag, whatever you're proud of, drop that in the chat box along with letting us know what your favorite hobby is and how you spend your free time. I want to remind everyone about our office hours, 9 a.m. for Stata, R, and Python. Those happen from 9 to 10 every morning. If you arrive, just head into your room designated by the topic, and our TAs actually have their expertise listed right after their name, so you know who to talk to. If there's a crowd in one room and you want to ask a TA to join you in another one, totally possible. Okay. So we're going to, you're going to get your breakout rooms in a second before I go over our exercise. But I want you to know that we worked very hard to try and balance based on folks' exposure to MTurk. Okay, exposure. Notice I didn't say expertise there, right? So we're throwing some people in there who have an account and who have seen MTurk or heard of it. Okay, so there's a person in each group who has seen or heard of MTurk, maybe has an account. Okay, and also adding folks that have some survey experience. And then also balancing that with you meeting new people. So our rooms for today are Marsha P. Johnson, James Baldwin, Audrey Lord, Rashad Robinson, Roxanne Gay, and Alvin Ailey. So if you don't know who those folks are, I encourage you to Google them. Please note our list is very US centered. That is my experience. I am an American citizen, grew up here in the United States. So I invite those of you who are from outside the United States to share the names of LGBTQIA heroes from your home country or community in our chat box throughout the day as well. If you are in spaces together and you want to share that with others, please do. It is Pride Month here in the United States. So we're going to start off with a quick retrospective. Let's look at our keep, start, stop slides before looking ahead and reviewing our schedule, talking about our lunchtime leads for the day, and jumping into our exercise. I see a shout out to Sylvia Rivera on there. So thank you for the first person who put someone in the chat box for us. So Merlin, go ahead and share our slides for me. Keep, start, stop. We're going over day 3, but it's day 4. Oh my God, can you believe how far along we are? It's so exciting. Okay, next, let's head to our first slide. So stuff to keep, kind, encouraging words, reminders that we are all students here and it's okay to know little or nothing. So that's something I tell to my students in my research lab. I was like, I truly and deeply believe that you are meant to know nothing in this space. Arrive the space, be a sponge. Anything you need to know, we teach you. We literally expect you to have been like R, what's R? Like you grew up somewhere where that just didn't exist, okay? So we really expect you to take a learning posture and be a sponge. The freedom to work how we want in group in the presentations at the end to see how everyone did. So much freedom. Take a break whenever you want to. Come back to our sessions together. But, you know, spend your time doing whatever your group's best intentions are, all right? So we prescribe an end result for the day, but I'll be honest, most of those things are impossible. So maybe I should have mentioned that earlier on. Like most of the things that we give you and suggest you do are impossible, okay? So do what you can, give the rest to whatever higher being or, you know, ground or earth or self you believe in. Atheists welcome to, just give that to the universe, okay? Folks love the discussion. Okay, let's keep it up. Let's go to start. Twitter scares me. You know, me too. If y'all notice that we're tweeting from SICSS-Howard and not my personal account, Twitter is scary, okay? Right? I don't know where Black Twitter is. I feel like I should be part of it. Where is Black Twitter? Okay, so building an academic following seems really daunting on top of surviving grad school and building a research agenda. I agree. Where do y'all find the time? Okay, so I don't find the time. Ava is magic. Ava is the elf that is cobbling shoes at night while I am sleeping. So Ava, who you'll get to meet at some point, is the person who edits all of our videos and sends out all of our tweets. I also have a team that's collecting quotes and doing stuff. So by no means am I running our Twitter. My God, that would be impossible. But I realize I'm leaving myself out of interesting conversations happening there. I agree. Women and people of color are not as involved in Twitter. Can we have a pop academic training session or something, or maybe just some general Twitter tips? Yes. So I am going to reach out to Ava. So when we were setting up our site, we sat down with the folks that handle communication for Princeton University, and they gave us some advice on Twitter. So what I will do is I will pull Ava into this space, and we'll try and set up a time where if people want to learn how to engage in Twitter, we will do that. But please know that I too am terrified. Don't let this demeanor scare you. Terrified of a lot of things. Created this site because of my own anxiety and wanting to create space for people with anxiety in these spaces. So Twitter terrifies me too, and I will be in that workshop. So far going great. Tell us our expectations for the final group individual presentations. What stage does the project need to be at? Just the idea, some data collected, data analyzed, visualizations done. Any of those things. Okay, so your presentation, like I said, and I'm assuming you're talking about the end of the institute, not the end of the day. If at the end you're like, I am presenting on how I overcame my fear of R, or how I whittled away at my fear of R and did not overcome it, but I feel more comfortable with it, that's a great presentation. If you're like, we got our group together and spent some time creating a literature review or putting together an annotated bibliography or a bibliography, or spend some time in deep debate on how we want to approach that, that's a great presentation. We collected a ton of data. We're starting with the data because we know what our questions are going to be, and we came up with a plan for data, or we collected the data. That's a great outcome. You know, we got together as a group and we realized we didn't like our group and we wanted to join other groups, but we're nice people. That's a great outcome. So I want you to realize there's a full range of outcomes. I should also tell you that the presentations are not recorded. So your presentations are we imagine those as being in progress. So those will not be recorded. You'll get feedback from our larger community here. Some of the TAs will show up, our speakers, myself. So you'll get feedback on that. And you know, it's meant to be at its beginning stages, whatever that means for you. Okay. You know, you're welcome to apply for funding this year, next year, future year. And if you get funded, you can come back next year and present your progress. You know, like I said, the big impossible goal of having a paper ready at the end of this, like that's impossible. You know, so set your own whatever you get to at the end of this, and you'll have a full week. And I guarantee you it will go slower than you expect. So much slower than you expect and faster than you expect in other areas is fine. But again, not recorded. Okay, that is a family session. That is some real talk that will not be recorded. Okay. So far going great. Tell us our expectations. I read that. All good. Perhaps time for a short full group discussion after the 1:15 break so that we can learn about the strategies of other groups and maybe change tactics before the day ends. Many groups shared helpful approaches in the presentations, but we couldn't implement them because the day was always over. Maybe you want to designate someone in your group as a diplomat. Maybe you send them to foreign lands and have them go ask questions, or maybe you join another group. We had 2 groups combined yesterday. So I want to encourage you all to exercise your leadership. So you have the ability to go in and out of rooms. You know, there does not have to be a formal process. If you all want to agree that on your break you meet and all check in and share where you are, you can do that. If you want to meet up in office hours, you can do that. Leadership, exercise your leadership. Let's channel Paula Moreno's advice last night. We need you all, in addition to being the exceptional, creative, brilliant scholars that you are. Take that in, let that wash over you. Ignore that little voice that's telling you what I just said is not true. You are a brilliant, amazing scholar. We also need you to exercise your leadership. So please feel free to jump between rooms, do what you need to do, okay? Let's go to our stop slide. Nothing. We are so blessed to have you, Nanette. I appreciate that. Thank you. I received that. All are good. If there's stuff you need me to stop, like Net, if you could get these meetings down to 2 minutes, that would be great. I am open to that. Please give us stop stuff. Final slide. Anything else? I love how versatile SICSS-HM is. Last few days have been intense. Yes, they are. I remember this. I was shaking. I think I told you all this. I don't even think I downloaded R until like midway through the week. I definitely wasn't watching videos. I was shook. So if it's been intense and you have done anything, just showing up and being in this space every day is an active revolution. Okay. We got to meet national leaders, techno geeks, authors, researchers, thinkers. Respect and gratitude to all organizers. Nanette, you're a legend. Wow. Thank you. I received that. Thank you. Wait until you see next week. If you think you met some people this week, there's going to be at least 2 presentations next week. So I'll have our lunchtime talk and a guest speaker who's an academic in the afternoon, and like international panels. You think this week is good? Hold on to your wig. It's about to get even better. All right, let's drop the screen share. Thank you. So we're doing okay on time. We're just going to bleed straight into descriptions of the exercise, but I'm going to review the schedule for the day before we do that. So let's go ahead and screen share again. Our schedule, please, Merlin. And while I'm doing the schedule, if the 3 people that are signed up to be our lunchtime speakers can raise your hands. I will mention stuff with you, and it's good for us to see who you are real quickly. All right, so today, as always, pre-arrival videos and corresponding slides are up there. If you take a census in your group and you're like, did you watch the videos? No, did you? No, me neither. Watch the videos, do that. That's a great use of your time, okay? Go through the takeaway sheets. I wanna tell you, I'm so proud of those takeaway sheets. If you found them useful, just know that they were prepared by my exceptional undergraduate RAs. Undergraduates watched all this material, read the books, and created this for you all. Okay, so if they can do this, you can do this. The participant Zoom links are there. You're here, so we know you found them. That's great. 9 to 10 office hours every morning. Hope we saw you. If we didn't, maybe that's your intention for tomorrow. 10 to 10:15, logistics, did that, nailed it. Then we'll introduce the group exercise. So the lesson plan is there. There should be 3 hyperlinks there. I hope there are 3 hyperlinks. If there are not, I will make sure we update that. So awesome. So there's the introduction to the group exercise, which is some slides. So you can go through those as a group. I suggest that's the place where you start. Then there's the lesson plan for participants. That's y'all. Then there's the lesson plan for instructors. So if somebody happens to be teaching this or wants to teach this and watches the video afterwards, that's there for them as well. You can look at that if you want. I would just look at the lesson plan for participants, but if you want to like sneak and look at that, that's fine too. You'll spend the morning looking up in your morning group exercise group doing the first part of this. Again, leadership, pace yourselves. If you get through things faster, totally fine. If you get through things slower, totally fine. If you get through nothing, totally fine. This space is for exploration. Then you'll take a break from 11:30 to 12. Then the 3 people who have their hands up are our bite-sized lunchtime talk question askers for BCT partners. You all remember Randall Pinkett. He will be joined by Pete York. Randall, reminder, academic All-American, captain of his track team, Rhodes Scholar, and also the first Black winner of The Apprentice. Those 3 people with their hands up are going to get to hang out with Randall and Pete. So about 10 minutes before the session starts, please head to the speaker holding room, and we'll remind you as well. You'll hang out with the speakers while we get everything situated. You'll get to see behind the curtain a little bit, the preparation for things like these sessions. And then we'll come back and you will take the lead after our alumni TF and my moderation to ask our first questions. We welcome all questions. You might want to, Google Randall and Pete right now and come up with some questions, take a look at BCT partners. Your group could also watch the video during one of our breaks, okay? Afternoon exercise or content-specific office hours are always available. So we have our largest group of TAs today, big old group of TAs to pull this off. So make sure you utilize them. They're fantastic. Another break, 3 to 3:15. Then we will do our group exercise debrief and go over logistics, and then I will send you back to your life. That is our day. So we'll do inspiration, and then I'll leave some time for questions. So our speaker today is Calvin Hadley, who's a special assistant to the president of Howard on strategic initiatives. So I caught him yesterday coming back from Capitol Hill, but he is in the room with big tech when they're trying to decide if they want to give money to Howard and doing so many other amazing things. So he will be our inspirational speaker. All right, so we're gonna watch a short video from Calvin. He pre-recorded for us since he got pulled into a meeting, as important people do, this morning, but he wanted to send his love to all of you. So we're gonna screen a video from Calvin.
Good morning, SICSS cohort. My name is Calvin Hadley, and I have the pleasure of serving as one of the architects of the SICSS-Howard Mathematica site for our 2nd year, along with my colleagues, Nanette Coleman, who you've had a phenomenal time interacting with, and my other colleague, Akira Bell from Mathematica. I'm here today for one reason and one reason alone, to get you fired up, right? You have had hopefully a phenomenal couple of days. I know you've had a jam-packed couple of days, but I'll take a moment and share a serious note as we embark on the day today. And first of all, please pardon me for not being live with you today. A part of my day job is a senior advisor to our president with a portfolio of strategic initiatives. And if you're seeing this video, it means I'm in a meeting. Sometimes we get pulled into meetings. And so I'm sorry that I can't be here live with you guys, but wanted to make sure that I send this. And a part of my message to you today is about showing up, right? And so when we ideated around the creation of this site, we didn't view the world as it is, right? I have two colleagues that view the world as it should be. And that's the spirit that we created, the spirit in which we created this program. I'm a PhD candidate, right? I was going to say a PhD student, but proud to say that I am a PhD candidate. Hopefully won't be in that space for a very, very long time. But as a result of that, I likely share or I likely have some similarities with some of your experiences. Not everybody's experience, but probably at least one of you. And a part of that is I'm a student that has done traditionally well in school. And when I entered into my doctorate program in the sociology field at Howard University, I encountered a number of situations that slapped me in the face with good old imposter syndrome. As smart as I am, as qualified as I am, as intelligent as I am, I, like some of you, didn't always and don't always feel like I am worthy of sitting in the seat that I'm in. And that is something that we wanted to control for in this program. We wanted to make sure that you have the freedom to show up as yourself in every room that you show up in. And hopefully that transcends your time with us in the SICSS program. This will be hard. The fields that you guys are diving into will be hard. The task that you guys have in front of you is hard, right? And so I don't want to fool you and say that this will be a cakewalk. The work that you're signing up for is intense work. And this experience is not going to be any less intense, but I can tell you that it's worthy. You guys are a walking, or at least a zooming embodiment of the future leaders of data science for our country. And we know that without your careful hands, we will have trouble for tomorrow. And so I encourage you, I send you lots of love, lots of positivity. We need you to keep going. We need you to continue, and we need you to be as excellent as you know that you can be. And this program was created with that in mind. And so with that, please have a phenomenal day. Have a phenomenal week. I look forward to coming back in front of you, hopefully live next week at some time. But know that this is a family. We have a great deal of love for you. We are excited to have you here. And we're excited for you to finish this program and become an official member of our family. So with that, have a phenomenal day. Enjoy, learn a lot. And more importantly than any of that, I'll say even more importantly than learning a lot, more important than learning a lot is have the freedom to exist as you are. Have the freedom to show up authentically and mess some stuff up while you're there. My dad would always say, when you kick in the door, you better make sure that you have something to say when the door gets kicked in. And so I'm looking for you guys to kick in those doors for the people after you and for the colleagues that are going through this with you. Hopefully you leave it off the hinges and go and mess some stuff up on the other side. Have a good day. See you guys soon.
Amazing words at the perfect time from one of my colleagues, one of my friends, my brother Calvin. If you have not watched the video about him, head back to our Sunday activities. There's a full list of videos on all of our staff members and architects from Howard and Mathematica. It's a video on Akira, a video on Calvin, on Terry, Amy, and also Nikki. So there are video interviews with all those folks. You can hear about their path to the professoriate, where they're from. It's a real talk, and also their hopes for you. So if you're feeling a little down, I would start with Calvin's video. Calvin is just Calvin's a force. So we are at time there, and the rooms are open. But I want to open up and give a space for questions if there are any. I will pause and stop talking for a minute, and if there are no questions, we can head to our breakout rooms. But I know on Zoom it can take a little longer for people to ask questions. Go to your rooms. Have a great day, everybody. Come back and see us if you need to. Yandu will come exploring and say hi. She is not spying. She's just going to come say hi. Okay. Have a great day, everyone. Thank you all for watching. For more information on SICSS-Howard Mathematica, visit our website, follow us on social media, and join our email list.